What is going on, guys, and welcome to episode 1 of Tofu's Corner, the best podcast here on the internet. I'm here joined by my two lovely guests here today, my little brother Osvaldo, as well as my little sister Lupita.
Maria.
For all of you,
Maria.
it's the same thing. But anyways, for any of you who do not know who I am, you might know me as Tofu, Gold Tofu, Hey Tofu, your mama's Tofu, everyone's Tofu. You know, I'm just Tofu.
Yeah.
And I'm starting this podcast kind of because I can. And you're not gonna stop me, boy. But anyways, what you can expect from this podcast is just kind of a bunch of goobers goofing around, saying a bunch of dumb stuff. Maybe you'll enjoy it, maybe you don't. But if you do, make sure you go ahead and leave a like
and subscribe.
Don't forget to subscribe. But enough said.
But if you don't like it, leave right now.
Yeah.
Don't leave.
No,
Stay.
don't leave. Stay. We love you.
Yeah.
But anyways, with that said, I'm going to have these two go ahead and introduce themselves. But we're going to go ahead and start out with Maria over here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I used to have a YouTube channel back in like 2000 and I'm guessing 2020. Yeah, most like 2020. Yeah, I'm kind of famous, but not really. But then I gave up on YouTube because all my friends follow me and it's kind of awkward now. But yeah.
Okay.
And I talk a lot.
And what's your age? How old are you?
I'm 14, about to turn 15 in 2 months.
Okay, cool. And why is turning 15 so important for you right now?
Because I'm gonna get my quinceañera and like all my friends are gonna be there and I'm gonna have like a lot of chambelanes and we're gonna be like all dancing and we're gonna have a huge party and I'm really excited.
All right. And then we also got Osvaldo over here on this side.
Hi.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, 12 years old and I like to play a lot of basketball. Last year I think it was that I joined junior JAD. Did not do very great, but I'm definitely going to try to improve in my basketball. But yeah, that's just something I'd really like to do. I enjoy playing a lot of basketball, and I also had a YouTube channel, but I also gave up on it. Don't give up on your dreams, though.
Yeah.
And so both of you guys are actually in middle school. You just joined middle school. You're in 7th grade, and this is your last year in middle school for you.
I'm leaving.
Whichever one of you guys wants to start first. What can you tell me about your middle school experience so far?
I think she can go first. I think she has more experience than me.
Oh wait. Well, I go to like middle school, but I don't know. I find it kind of boring. Not gonna lie. But like my two experience when I was joining, I was getting bullied a lot and all that stuff, and it was not really fun. But now 9th grade, like I feel like I'm having more fun because like I'm like more of the older kids and not the 8th graders and 7th graders kind of like want to mess with me because like I'm the oldies and all that stuff.
Because you were like little and stuff.
Yeah, I was like really short. And everyone would make fun of my height and just everything because like I went through a lot and stuff. So yeah.
What about you, Osvaldo? You used to be the oldest kid at your elementary school, and now you're back to square one. Now you're the
tiny one,
the small fish in a big pond. What is that like for you?
I don't know. I don't really think much about it. I just enjoy middle school. I think I'm having fun waking up in the mornings and playing basketball. I know a lot of you do not like waking up in the mornings, but I do.
You're a morning person?
Yeah, I'm a morning and night person.
And with your basketball, do you play in the mornings when you go to school or what?
Yeah, I like to be early, but she doesn't like waking up early, so I get up sometimes late or sometimes we'll be early, but I like to be early sometimes, a lot of the time.
Now, are you an early person? You're not an early person at all?
No, I hate mornings.
She is not early. She wakes up at like 10 in the weekends.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And what's your favorite class right now, Osvaldo?
Probably my first period. I'm not gonna say the teacher.
What's your first period?
I think it's reading. The only reason I like it's because of the teacher. I don't like reading though. I'm starting to get into reading a little bit though.
Yeah, reading. The teacher's cool.
What's your favorite class?
Probably ceramics right now.
Ceramics?
Yep.
What are you doing in ceramics?
Right now we're doing like some like pot and stuff to put like flowers and yeah.
Interesting. Well, we're all located in Salt Lake City, Utah. For all of you that don't know, I've been living here my whole life. They've been living here their whole lives. So we've kind of been living here for a really long time. A lot of people who don't really know much about Utah, all they really say is like, it's Mormonville, Mormonville this, Mormonville that.
It's way more than that.
But as you guys growing up here, what do you guys like Utah? What do you guys think
Yes.
about Utah?
I like Utah a lot. It's really chill here. I don't like cities that I don't know. Whenever I hear in the news, I always hear like California. I don't want to like say anything about like I hate California or anything. I love California, you know. But whenever I hear something bad happens over there, there's like a flood or something, you know. But over here is really relaxed, and I love the Utah Jazz, you know, things that they have here.
Yeah,
What about you, Lupita? What do you like about Utah?
the mountains for sure. The mountains. I love
mountains.
The mountains.
Yeah, there's a lot of good scenic views here in Utah. We have a lot of hikes, a lot of lakes.
Yeah.
There's just a lot to do here, especially if you're like a nature person. You're gonna love to
outdoor.
live here in Utah. If you love the outdoors and whatnot, you're gonna have a blast here.
For sure.
The weather is a little bit interesting
Goofy.
sometimes because we have a super like bipolar state here in Utah where like you'll wake up in the morning and it'll be freezing cold
Yes.
and you'll need a jacket, but then it hits noon and it's blazing hot, so then you take your jacket off, but then it gets into the middle of like
The
towards
night.
the evening and it starts raining
And it gets
Yeah.
cold.
and you're like, okay, I'm cold again. And then you get closer to like October, November, and December,
And it just starts
and then
snowing.
it just starts snowing. It just like, and it starts snowing, and it doesn't stop snowing until like May of the next year.
Yep.
And so like, that's kind of like the biggest thing that I'd say is their biggest like deterror for people who want to come to Utah is our
Yeah.
weather, because like most of the year it's snow for us,
Yeah.
and then you'll get summer for like a couple months, and,
and then
it's
it just
blazing
it
hot.
just goes away.
It's like blazing hot when it's summer. Like
Yes.
it's not like a cool breeze
You're melting.
or anything. It's like straight dry heat because we live in a desert.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like, I'd say that's probably like the biggest downfall for Utah is our weather. But if you love the cold, if you love the snow, if you're a snowboarder or a skier, you're going to
You'll
love
love
it
it
here.
here,
We got
too.
a lot of ski resorts, a lot of snowboarding,
Yep.
that kind of thing. But if not, then I don't know.
You might not like
You might not like it too much, but
it. On the summer, maybe you might like it.
it's
I
pretty
love
good.
summer.
And then all of us are obviously from Hispanic descent. We're all like Mexican,
Yep.
Mexican Americans.
Yep.
Growing up Mexican American, what
Kinda
would you
tough.
say is like your favorite like thing about it?
Getting thrown by the chancla. Just kidding.
The food.
The food.
Yeah.
The food. What's your favorite food? Like Mexican food?
Sopes.
Sopes.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
that hit
For
different.
anybody who doesn't know what sopes are, they're like kind of like,
Dough.
it's like doughy, like a doughy circle kind of a thing, and it's like deep fried, or it's
Mhm.
like fried in oil, and then you put like whatever kind of meat you want, chicken, beef, whatever you want,
Yeah.
and then you put like beans and like lettuce and cheese, and like sour cream and
Yeah, that's
stuff,
why we're
and
kinda
like
chubby.
green salsa or whatever you want. It should be smacking.
Yeah, that's why we're kind of.
What other food do you guys like?
What?
What other food do you guys like?
Quesadillas. Yeah, for sure.
Quesadillas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about it? What about you? Anything else?
Probably tamales.
Tamales.
Tamales is like the big
tamales.
thing.
For me, I gotta say, tostadas de tinga.
Oh,
Oh, shit,
yeah.
yeah.
I love them shits. If you don't know what that is, it's like it's a tostada, which is like a tortilla that's kind of like crispy, kind of like
a chip.
if you think about Taco Bell tacos, how they have the crunchy shell. Imagine that same thing, but it's a circle,
Mhm.
It's
and then you put shredded chicken on top, and like lettuce and cheese, and it just goes hard. And then
Yeah.
You should try it though.
you
Yeah.
guys should try it. If you don't,
Recommended.
if you are looking for something to eat,
Or
we got
maybe
some
you,
food
or maybe
for
you're
ya.
going to Mexico.
Yeah, if you're going to Mexico on a trip or anything like that, hit us up for some
Yeah.
Tips.
suggestions. If you guys want to know more, comment down below. We'll let you guys know about some more foods.
And then candy too.
The candy.
Yeah, we got
Candy.
good candy. What's your favorite candy?
I'm gonna go with paleta payaso.
Oh
the
yeah, those
payaso.
are different.
What about you?
It's either gonna be Duvalin or Gancitos.
Oh, gancitos are good.
Yeah, they hit different.
For me, I'd say mazapan. I like
Mazapan.
mazapan.
Oh, yeah.
Mazapanes are hella good. I saw a guy on like a YouTube video not that long ago, and they were trying Mexican candies, and they went to the mazapan, and bro was so like unhappy with it. It's like it just crumbles in my hands. It's not even good. And I was like, what are y'all on, bro? Y'all are tripping.
I feel like people who don't know what mazapan is and they don't know that it breaks easily, they'll just go so fast and it'll just destroy
The
their
thing
hand.
is that like a mazapan is super fragile, and so when you're unwrapping it, you gotta be really careful. And if you get it perfectly, bro, you get a medal or something, because that shit is hard as fuck to get out perfectly. But when you do, it's so satisfying.
Yes.
Same with like dubalines. Dubalines for me, like whenever I get to like I'm almost done with it, I just start licking the shit out of the
Oh
case.
yeah.
And then it's so satisfying when you leave it all clean. There's nothing there.
I don't think I like the new Duvalin wrappers though, like the new ones that they made, cause you know the like silver plastic that sometimes just comes out and you have to rip it with your hands.
Yeah.
It's just not satisfying
Oh
anymore.
my god, I'm dying.
But it's still really good.
And also with being Mexican American, there's also the tradition of quinceañera, which is coming up for Lupita here pretty soon in November.
Yep.
What do you think you're looking forward to the most
The
for your
dance.
quinceañera?
The dance.
I'm surprised it's not the sorpresa or
The dances. That's what I said. The
the
dances.
prize.
The gift.
And then for anybody who doesn't know what a quinceañera is, which if you don't, you're living under a rock. I don't know what the hell you're doing. But basically what a quinceañera is a Mexican tradition
An
where
upcoming age.
where it's usually it's when a female who is starting to transition from being a girl into a woman. And for Mexico and tradition, it's usually at 15 years old. And so they have a huge party. There's like dancing involved. There's music. There's food.
Yep.
Everybody shows up. It's just a good time, a fun time.
Yeah.
And there's dances that the quinceañera performs with other males that are kind of around their age, and they're called chambelanes. And you can have as many as you want, really, but
Most
usually
of the time it's 7 to like
there's like
7 to 5.
or like 5 chambelanes or 10.
Yeah.
10 is
But
kind of
10 is like a lot, but like usually that's kind of how it is. And then you guys practice for like a couple months and you do some choreography. Usually have like a dance teacher that teaches you how to do the dances and whatnot. And there's a lot of planning involved, a lot of stuff that goes into it,
and a lot of money. That's
and a
way-
lot of money. And usually the funds come from people. Like a lot of people they're called padrinos or madrinas or whatever, which is like
Godmother or godfather.
yeah, they're also called sponsors. They provide funds. They chip in a little bit, whether it's like towards the cake or different types of things like that,
a pillow.
and like a pillow for like these
shoes.
like the shoes and stuff.
The
Like
heels.
there's a lot of different things that go into it, but usually a lot of people go and they chip in,
'Cause it's a lot of money.
which makes it a lot easier for it to happen. Because if one person's gonna pay for the whole thing, I don't think it ever happens. But with that said, one of your chambelanes is not showing up very much.
Yeah.
What do you think is gonna happen with that?
Well, I mean, he only showed up. He didn't show up like for 2 times, but he's coming up for he's coming for the red.
I feel like 2 times.
And
is
if
a
you're
lot.
watching this, you know who you are.
you know who you are.
You know who you are. You need to show up.
You need to start pulling up, bro.
You need to start showing up to the practices, bro, because
We know who you.
you're going to get booted off the team. You don't want to get booted off the team.
I think he's gonna watch these later, so I think he should.
Yeah, you're watching this. I know you are. All right. With that said, though, you guys had a couple practices here not that long ago, and I
Yeah.
had to substitute in for that guy.
You know.
And I'm a little concerned for him because he's a little bit not a little bit, he's a lot smaller than me, and he's a little bit skinny, doesn't have a lot of strength, and specifically what he has to do is he has to carry you.
Yeah.
Are you nervous for that
Yeah.
at all?
Yep. I'm very nervous. I'm trying to work out so he doesn't get all that pressure.
I think if a lot of practice and he really wants to like
I
try,
mean, we gotta practice for 2 months.
if he really does try, I think he could do it. But it's definitely gonna be.
I
hard
don't
for
trust him. I don't trust him. I don't trust him.
I trust him. I think he can maybe do it.
Yeah, and there's like a couple moves that he has to like carry her and do a spin and whatnot, and I've been doing those for her these past couple of things or last couple practices because he wasn't there. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be difficult for him. I feel like, and he's got to show up so that he can practice the stuff, and so he can actually, figure out if he can even do the lifts and stuff. But
Yeah.
but yeah, that's a little bit crazy there with him not showing up too much.
Yeah, it was only 2
But
times. though.
Osvaldo, you're also got a really big role in this. You're the chambelán de honor,
The main.
which
main.
he's like the main guy. He's like the
Main character.
yeah, he like the main character, except the quinceañera is the main character, and then there's like the sidekick, the side character. So think about like Lupita's Naruto and he's Sasuke. So so they're both like really big parts of this. But you being the chambelán de honor, is there any pressure for you there, or like any nerves that you got?
At first I did have a lot of nerves, but like after a while practicing, I don't think I have that much. Like I don't think I'm that nervous anymore. But also being the main, and I know a lot of people are gonna watch me instead of all the other chambelanes. It's a little bit more pressure, but
Yeah, and there's gonna be a lot of eyes on you. Which, speaking of a lot of eyes on you, that's also something that you're gonna have to deal with in your future career if that's where you decide to go. Which you should probably tell them what your future career you want is.
I don't want to be an NBA player. It's gonna be hard. I've been listening to the chances of like getting in, but I don't care what those chances are. I'm gonna work my way up. There's no easy way to becoming whatever you want. There's always gonna be something
What's
blocking your
funny?
way.
He wanted to be in the Faith Clan. Now he wants to be in the NBA.
That's true. I used to like watch FaZe Jarvis. All these YouTubers. I used to like love watching them because I used to play a lot of Fortnite. And then I used to say I'm gonna be in FaZe Clan. I'm gonna win the next World Cup that Fortnite hosted, and now I'm hoping to win a world champion for whatever state I hopefully play for.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And now, as you mentioned before, you also played in the Junior Jazz. And for anybody who doesn't know what the Junior Jazz, can you explain to them a little bit what that is?
And so it's just like this, like I don't know how to explain. It's just like this Yalf of like sports and stuff. No, not sports, but just
It's like a little league. It's like
for
it's like a
basketball.
minor league for like kids who want to play basketball. Usually, you play against other kids around your
Yeah.
age. How was it like playing for the Junior Jazz?
I think for the first time I played, I think I did all right. It definitely wasn't the best I could do, but I'm gonna improve, and hopefully this year I can do way better than what I did before.
And then you were doing pretty hot at one of the specific games, but you ended up getting injured. Do you want to tell them how that happened?
So the game was doing perfectly. I wanted to go for my best because my family's watching. Some of my uncles and aunt, my cousin were watching, and so I was putting on a hot game for that day. But then I was gonna pull up for a three, and I jump up, but this kid does not give me my like landing space. So when I land, I like kind of twisted my leg like that.
I like your socks.
Thank you. I twisted my leg and it hurt pretty bad.
Try to keep the microphone kind of close.
Oh
to you.
yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna like, you sound like you're having some Timu wife over here.
But yeah, it like twisted and it hurt pretty bad.
Yeah, and then you guys are obviously still pretty young. Got a lot of years ahead of you. You're gonna go into high school next year. How does that feel for you?
Well, I'm like really nervous. So I'm like putting my full effort on this year. Right now I have all A's, and then just one class I have a B, but that's okay. That's still
For anybody who doesn't know, who isn't from Utah, our education system works a little bit differently. So elementary school is actually kindergarten through 6th grade, and then our middle school is 7th through 9th grade, and then our high school is 11th grade or 10th grade through 12th grade. So it's a little bit weird because in most elementary schools and stuff around the world, it's actually kindergarten to 5th grade, and then it's middle school is 6th grade through 8th grade, and then high school is 9th grade through 12th grade.
Yeah.
So ours is a little bit different, so it's a little bit weird. So when I tell her how she feels going into high school, technically right now she's going to middle school, but she's a freshman technically right now. She's in 9th grade, so she's a freshman in high school technically, but she's still going to a middle school. It's a little bit weird. So her first official real like year of high school will be next year when she's a sophomore. So if there was any confusion there, that's just to clear it up. But yeah, you're going into high school, which you're going to be turning 15 in November. So when you go into high school next year, you're going to be turning 16,
Yep.
which usually means you're going to get a license.
Yep.
That's the age you get your license. Do you think you're ready to drive on the streets and not
No.
kill people?
No.
Hell yeah. I'm
No.
so excited. I really want to drive really bad.
No.
Seeing you and the kind of person that you are, I'm kind of worried for the people out on the streets.
Yo,
I'm not worried for you because, like, you'll probably be fine. You'll just probably hit some people.
I think
I feel like-
think I'll be fine.
I feel like you're going to probably try to go to, like, Starbucks, get a coffee, go into the drive-thru.
With our
And-
friends.
Yeah, with all your friends, and then you're going to hit, like, the drive-thru speaker. I feel like that's what you're going to do. I feel like you're the type of person to take the driving test and then run over all the cones.
Oh my god. I kind of thought about that. I had a dream about that like last night. I literally had a dream that I was running over all the cones and then the teacher was yelling at me.
Maybe that's a sign.
Maybe, yeah, that's
That's a sign.
yeah, that's a sign.
No, I got scared because like, and then I started crying because the teacher was like, "Are you stupid? Like, what are you doing? Like, I paid for those cones. I had to go get them back up." And I was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
I don't think they're that bad though. I don't think if you hit a cone, they'll get that mad.
They will get mad at you.
I will tell you my experience from when I was in driving school. So when I was in high school, I took driver's ed, obviously, and they had us do what are called ranges, which basically they have a little bit of an obstacle course in the parking lot of the high school. They set up cones, they have lines on the floors and whatnot. And basically there's a couple different areas. One of them is an area where they have you practice switching lanes. So they have you turn on your turn signal, switch lanes, blah, blah, blah. Then there's a section where they do cones and you have to zigzag through the cones with the car. And then there's a figure 8 section where you go in an 8 pattern. And then there's a backup section where you have to first you go into it, it's a zigzag, but you have to back out in a zigzag like this.
Oh.
Well,
So
that's
you're
not
backing
hard.
out like this. And then the last part is the parallel parking, which they put a cone in front of you and then a cone behind you, and you have to park in between both the cones without knocking either of them over.
Did you do it perfectly fine?
You're getting
And
me
I
nervous.
did perfectly at everything. The only thing I ever had trouble with was the zigzag backing out thing. When I was doing that, I had no idea what I was doing, and I ran over one of the cones when I was backing out, and it got stuck underneath my car, and I just hear stop, 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 and I was like, what the heck's going on? And I stop, I put the car in park, and I see there's like they have like a person that kind of like watches everybody to make sure everything's okay, and they have like a little house that they kind of sit in, and it has like windows. And I just saw her book out of the little house and come over to me, and then I'd run over 2 cones, and they were both stuck underneath my car, and I had to pull up forward, and I had to watch the teacher try to yank it out underneath my car.
Dang.
And I was like,
That's so
I was so embarrassed in front of all the other kids because I was like, shoot, I just ran.
Did the
over
other
these
kids do it
cones.
fine?
No, I felt fine later on because there's this other kid who also ran over some cones.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt fine. I'm surprisingly very good at parallel parking, which is usually what everybody has difficulties with. But for me, I found that to be like one of the easiest things. So I was really good at parallel parking. I was really scared when they told us we had to drive on the highway. That was probably the scariest thing I ever had to go through. Because when they told me, I'd never driven on the highway ever in my life. And then they were like, all right, so today we're going to have you drive on the highway. And I was like, but I'd never driven on the highway before. And before they tell you that you have to practice like a certain amount of hours with your parent before you can like graduate from driver's ed and stuff. So I had done a lot of hours already, but it was all neighborhood roads or it was like just normal roads. I'd never been on a highway before. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, you're going to go on the highway and you're going to do it for your first time ever. And I'm going to watch you do it. And I was like, oh, God. I was like, this sucks. And so I went on, and I had 2 other kids in the back of the car who were also in driver's ed who they, like, pair you up in groups of 3. So you have 3 kids in a car, and then you have, like, the driving instructor teacher. And, like, we had to switch turns. And so I was the first one to go, too, because I wanted to watch another kid do it first and then me do it after. Because if I got to see them first, I'd feel more confident because I know what I'm getting into. But they were like, "Nah, you're gonna go first."
There's no way.
I was like, "Bruh," and so I went and I started driving on the highway, and it was actually pretty easy. It was a lot. It was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be super hard, but it was actually really easy. And then the other kid went in after me and stuff, and it was pretty easy though. And then also they have you do a written test where you have to. It basically asks you questions like, "What does it mean when you see a stop sign?"
I did it.
But you're supposed to stop. That's what the stop sign means.
I did it on my lens
Why does
computer.
it? Why?
I failed.
What should you do when the yellow light comes up on a stoplight and you're like, slow down? And then like all these questions. My sister Bernice, I think she failed it
The first
First
time.
time.
the first time and passed it the second time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I aced it first try. I'm just him, you know. I passed that shit first try, no problems. It was so easy. I'm the GOAT. Anyways, enough about me. Back to you guys. You guys used to live in a different city.
Mm-hmm.
Remember,
Don't say it or else you're gonna get doxxed.
I'm gonna die.
But you used to live in a different city. We all used to live in a different city. But then we moved here. And you all kind of had to start from scratch, moving to different schools. What was that like for you guys?
Scary. But I became really popular really fast for some reason.
I think I was about to say the school. This is kind of hard, you know. But the first day, I wasn't nervous or scared. I was just like sad. I was like, I have no friends here.
Yeah, me too.
And then I think I was just so like awkward. I don't think I talked to anyone for the first 2 weeks. I didn't talk to anyone until I think I can't say his name either. But one of my friends, I think he made fun of my Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
My Spider-Man pants, and then I got mad at him. And then afterwards, I talked to him to lunch about him, and then and then we've been friends for like 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me growing up, I never had to move schools, thankfully. So I kind of had the same friends growing up my whole life. And then we moved over here, but I was still able to finish high school at my original high school. So I didn't really have to go through any of that. But like for you guys had to kind of start over, make new friends and stuff.
Yeah.
If you guys were told today that we had to move to a different city again,
I would cry.
what would you guys do?
I would be upset again.
Yeah, me too.
I remember how when we were moving out,
I started crying.
I was upset and I started crying because I used to live with my cousin too, and I loved hanging out with him every like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Do these lights react to our sound?
I don't even know.
Or are they just flashing like that?
I don't know. I put a flashing thing, but
Oh, I thought they were reacting to our voices. Sorry, my bad. Anyways, so do you guys prefer the old city we used to live in or
Yes.
this one?
The old city.
I don't really mind. I think it was a canon event. I think it was meant to happen.
But with you guys moving to this city, you guys are gonna have to go to the high school that's in this city. I think the high school that's in this city, it's okay. It's really good for like sports.
It's really old though.
Like if you're really into football and stuff, like it's a great high school. But if you're not, everything else kind of sucks about it. And I've never gone, so I can't really say. But from what I've heard, especially my sister, she went to the high school that I went to. Like not her, but like my other sister. She went to the high school that I went to, but then she had to finish her high school at this other high school. And she told me that she hated this other high school so much. She said it was the worst thing ever, that like everyone sucked. Like nobody was really friendly, because the high school that I went to, everyone was super nice. Like I never really had issues growing up with like bullies or getting into fights or anything like that. That was also kind of like things to like, I don't know. I'm just kind of a chill person and I don't really get into fights or into drama. I've kind of always just been chill with everybody. It's kind of been really easy for me to make friends. But my sister, she's also kind of like me, but she doesn't make friends as easily as me. And she told me that like over at this other high school it was trash. But anyways, basically what I was gonna say is, are you guys excited to go to that high school, or do you wish you could go to the other one?
I want to go to the other one.
I wanted.
Malo.
Oh, yeah, like.
He wanted to go to. Wait, hold on, that's the wrong one. He wanted to go to. Wait, that's the wrong one too. Hold on, my bad. He wanted to go to high school. we got a soundboard here. If you didn't know, we have a couple different
Effects.
sound effects. Like, check this one out. We got that cool one. We also got the. I send a little bit of an applause, you know.
Yeah, if you don't-
When somebody says somebody funny. If we also got the. If you guys don't know that, they put that in a bunch of movies.
And Roblox.
I forgot what the name of the scream is. If you know the name of it, put it down in the comments.
Is it Goosebumps?
No,
No.
there's a name for this scream, and they started putting it in all the movies. It's kind of a tradition to like kind of hide it in your movie, but that's the scream we got on here. And then we also got the. I don't know what that is. Sounds like a phone or
Yeah,
something.
it does.
Hey, we got a call from yo mama, cause she wants to suck my. Just kidding. That's a prank. I didn't say anything. I just bleeped it out.
Yep.
Anyways, I get sidetracked. Sorry, I got ADHD. I'm kind of boing everywhere sometimes.
Yeah. Me and his are so bad.
But
You can cut that out in the video, right?
yeah, I can cut it out.
Oh my
It's
god,
fine.
that was so.
My bad. I didn't mean to. But I want to go to that high school because it looks nice and it's brand new. It's kind of new.
It's not new.
It's new.
It's not.
new.
No, it's not new
New.
anymore.
No.
But it's newer than the one that's over here.
Yep.
I think that one was built in the 90s. They said.
Yeah, the one that I went to was built in like the 2000s, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
But anyways, is there anything you guys want to talk about specifically that you guys were thinking about talking about on the podcast?
No,
No.
but I have.
Because if not, I have a couple topics for us here.
Okay.
Actually, I wanna ask you guys a question. What is the craziest thing you ever did in elementary? Since we all just skipped that.
Oh.
What's the craziest thing you ever
The
did? in
craziest thing I
elementary?
ever did in elementary,
Or like the most embarrassing thing.
I got two.
I go.
Okay.
So the first one, it's not really that crazy. It's kind of stupid to be honest. But when I was in elementary school, I had this little cart. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a little go-kart almost kind of thing, but you had to pedal with your feet
I
to
know
make
what it
it
is.
move around. And I used to love riding that thing all the time.
Oh yeah. I remember.
And one of my friends, when we were in elementary school, me and him got into a big fight because I brought my little cart to school one day because I used to walk home all the time. But this day, I didn't have a scooter. I didn't have like a scooter or a bike or anything. So I took that little cart to school one day, and my friend, freaking butthead, bro. He saw that I left it there, and he tried to steal it and take it home.
There's no.
Because he thought it was so cool, so he tried to steal it. But I caught him in the act, and I was like, "Yo, bro, what are you doing with my little car?" And he is like, nothing, bro." And I was like, "Were you trying to steal my car?" He's like, "I was just gonna borrow it, bro." And I was like, "You're not gonna take my car?" And he's like, "Bro, but like, can you please let me borrow it? It's just so cool." And I was like, "No, you can't borrow it." And then so I got mad and I grabbed it and I yanked it out of his hands, and he got mad at me for yanking out of his hands. So he pushed me. He like pushed me into the fence, and as soon as he pushed me into the fence, there's like this big pine tree with like a bunch of pine cones on the floor, and I grab a pine cone and I chuck it at his head, and it hits him, and he goes skunk, and then he starts crying. And when he starts crying, one of the teacher aides came outside, and she's like, "What's going on here?" And then I was like, nothing." And then she was like, "Both of you come with me." And then she
Why'd you
took-
not just tell her that he was trying to steal your car?
Because I was scared. I didn't know what was happening. I just hit a kid with a pine cone on his head, so I thought I was gonna get put in prison. And so they take me to the principal's office. And when I'm in the principal's office, it feels like I'm talking to like the warden of the prison. And she's like, "Okay, so I'm gonna talk to you first, and then I'll talk to him after." And so I was like, "Okay." So then she brings me into a room separate, and she has me fill out this freaking paper with
I
my
hate when
name
they
and
do
all this
that.
stupid stuff. And then she was like, she was like, okay, so tell me what happened. And so I tell her the story about what he was doing, and I told him I threw a pine cone at his head. And then she was like, okay. And then she was all like, well, just know that you shouldn't throw pine cones at kids when you get mad, okay? And I was like, okay. And then she was like, I'm going to let you go off with a warning this time. But if you do it again, I'm going to call your parents. And I was like, okay, I won't do it again. And then she had me fill out a paper that said, like, what did I do wrong? Mm-hmm. Like, she's like, what did you learn from this? Like, this is a stupid paper. And I just put in, like, don't throw pine cones at kids' heads. Like, and I wrote that down. And then the other kid, they talked to him too, and they also let him off with a warning being like, hey, don't steal little kids' cars from school. And yeah, that was my first one. That one's not super crazy. But then there's another one where I was in elementary school, and they were building a playground at the back of my school, and they fenced it off with like a big fence, so like no kids could go in there because it was like dangerous because there was still construction going on. And my friend really liked to look at the construction for some reason. So he was laying down on the grass with his hands like kind of out behind him. And he had all his fingers spread out like that. And me and my friend Nathan, we were playing tag. And so I was chasing after my friend Nathan, and he was just laying there. And while I was running, I didn't see, but I stepped on this kid's finger. And he started screaming. He's like, ow, 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 you hurt me, you little And then I was like, bro, what's wrong? And he's like, you sat on me, you and I was like, bro, I didn't mean to, bro. And then I was like, you're just making it a big deal. It's probably not even that bad. And then he's like, no, bro, this hurts a lot. And then like the aide comes over, and she was like, here, let's take you to the office. And then I didn't see him for the rest of the day, so I didn't really think about it too much. But then the next day he shows up, and he has a cast on his finger. And I was like, yo, what happened to your finger? He's like, bro, you broke my finger, bro. You're a And then I was like, man, you're just being dramatic. It's probably not even broken. And then he shows me his finger. He's got the big cast on his finger. And then yeah, I broke a kid's finger in elementary school. I didn't even mean to, but I was a fat little boy, and I stepped on a kid's finger and I broke it.
You probably would have like big chungus or something.
But yeah.
What's your crazy experience, Marlon?
I've never had a crazy experience with, elementary. I've never had anything crazy. I've always had a normal elementary experience with. It's just kind of sad. I've honestly always wanted something like to at least happen.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I remember from like kindergarten. I think it was like, I was like at the end.
You remember kindergarten?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, I remember like in kindergarten, like almost like the very end of the school year. I was barely learning how to speak English, and my English wasn't really good. It took me like, I think it was like 3 years to learn English because it was like really that hard. And so I remember there was this kid, and most of my friends were Hispanic, so they always like translated to me. And I remember one time there was this white kid. He like came up to me and he said I was really pretty, and I didn't know what that meant. So my friend translated it to me. He was like, oh, he said you're really pretty. Now I'm just like, oh, tell him I said thank you. And he did, and then he like pulled out some pop ring, and then he proposed to me. So I was panicked, and then I said yes to him. I was like, oh my god, yes! So I'm still married to this kid until this day, but I don't know where that man went at this point because I moved schools, and yeah, and then like first grade, second grade, everyone knew that we were married.
Well, actually, I have a story, but it's not really like crazy or anything, but it's something I got away with. So I've always hated presenting like stuff. Yeah. To like my classes and stuff. It gets me all nervous and everything. I started like shaking. So in 5th grade, I had this presentation I had to do about a state, I think, and I don't remember the state I chose, but I chose some state, and I remember that I didn't like how my poster came out. So in order for me to get out of it, I started crying to the teacher that I didn't want to do it. And she was like, it's fine. You'll just get an F on it. And I was like, fine, I'll take the F. I just don't want to present to the class. And I got away with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like in elementary school, we're just so little. We don't really know what's going on. But for some reason, little kids seem to be infatuated with the idea of getting married. For some reason.
Oh yeah.
Because like when I was little, bro, that was like the game. That was like the like if you were cool, you were playing getting married, and it was like you'd always go into the playground and you'd have a whole ceremony. all your little homies from 3rd grade are chilling under the slide, watching you and whoever it is getting married. You're holding hands underneath the slide.
And then someone says you may kiss.
And then somebody's like the what do you even call it? Like a bishop or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like they're over here like they're always like
They're reading their math book or something.
Salvador and Kylie, do you accept Salvador as your one and only husband? And then you're like, yes, I accept. And it's like, now you, Salvador, do you accept Kylie as your one and only wife? Yes, I accept. You may now kiss the bride. And then we don't kiss because that's nasty.
That was nasty.
That's nasty. So you just give each other a hug, or like you do like a side kiss on the cheek or something.
And everybody goes
crazy. If you do the kiss on the cheek, that's you
Everyone
crazy,
would go
bro.
crazy.
Everybody like,
Everybody
oh.
Everybody like runs out of the playground. They're all jumping. They're like
they kissed. They're gonna get married for real.
And then the whole school finds out about it.
Yeah, and then now for the rest of the school year, she's like your actual wife or your girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Until something happens, and apparently after
until
summer,
something happens, and then you break up with her. Cause something happens.
You just
or
hear
like one of your homeboys steals your girl.
Yeah, but
Damn.
it's always during the summer that they break up. It's something that has to do with the summer.
You go to the summer, one of them moves away or something. It's like she goes to another school now, and then you try to tell your homies he's like, do you got a girlfriend? Yeah, she just goes to a different school. Yeah, right. She goes to a different school. Yeah, we'll believe that. And you're like, no, you there. We got married. You remember?
So that happened to me in 6th grade, and there's this girl and this guy. One of them was really short, and the other one was really tall. He was taller than me, and I remember, Yopita, you know him. I call him Dad at school.
Oh yeah.
That kid, yeah. And they all went to the freaking fields, because we have a big field in our elementary, and they all went, and everybody was gathered up, like the whole 6th grade was just in the field right there. But like only like the kids that knew them were there. But there was like 5 kids in the playground. No one else was in the playground. But they got close, and everybody was like, "Come on, just kiss." And the other guy was like, "No, I don't want to." And then the girl was like, "I don't want to too." But they were like, it was just so much pressure. You were just like, "Come on, just do it." Like it's not that crazy. And then they grab each other, but it's not even like a kiss. It was like a, like that, and super. Yeah, like a pig just went.
A peck, I mean.
Yeah, and it went so fast, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, they kissed! Oh my god!" And then next thing you know, you go inside the school building. Everyone's talking about it.
Do you guys eat school lunch?
Ew, no.
No.
I take home lunch.
Me too.
I've tried the snacks only. I've never actually ate.
I never brought lunch from home ever when I was in school. I always had lunch at school.
Unless you had a field trip.
Yeah, unless I had like a field trip, then you'd bring your own food or whatever. But most of the time, I'd get food at school. Bro, I don't know. Everybody always complains about how school food's so bad and how it tastes like trash and
I don't know
how
what
it
they're
tastes
on.
like your mama's butthole. But like
It's actually
at my
pretty.
schools, at least at my schools, the ones that I went to, bro, all the food was bussing. Like, bro, elementary school. I really don't remember much about elementary school food, but like what I do remember was the kids that did bring home lunch, like they'd bring their lunch, and they had those cosmic brownies all the time. And bro, if you had the cosmic brownies in lunch, bro, you're like Bill Gates. You got all the power, and you're like, yeah, I got the cosmic brownies. What you got, bro? And I'm over here with like my torta con huevo in it. And then they'll be trading at school. They'll be trading foods and stuff. Like, oh, I'll give you my chips if you give me that, or I'll give you an apple if you give me this. I didn't got shit to trade with the kids, bro, because all I had was my torta con huevo in my sack. Whenever I would do that, but like whenever I would get school lunch, which was pretty much. What is that sound, bro? Bro, you need to chill out. Sorry, it's my dog.
I thought it was an earthquake. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, bro, is this shit falling down? What's going on? The sky falling? I was like, what's going on here? Nah, but a couple times in elementary school, I did bring lunch from home. But after that, I kind of started getting school lunch all the time. But like middle school, though, once I got to middle school, they had some good chicken nuggets. They had mini corn dogs. Those were pretty good. The salads were all right. High school, though, I got to high school. Man, that mac and cheese be smacking. And I tell my sister Bernice about this all the time, and she swears to God that was the most terrible mac and cheese she ever tasted. But I don't know. For me, that shit hit different. I was like, that's the best mac and cheese I ever had in my life, and it tasted really good. I get it all the time. They also had teriyaki chicken. That shit go hard as well.
I think it was my elementary school that had the best food ever. There were some days that it was kind of disgusting. You would see like a little bug in like and like some of the fruits. That's why I would never eat the fruits, but I would eat the
what?
fruit.
You got bugs in your fruit? The
Yeah.
hell kind of school?
No.
No. But
I
the
remember
teriyaki, I don't know if you guys do this, but whenever you in your guys' school and they would give you like orange chicken and rice, would you guys put the rice on top of the chicken?
No.
Yeah, I would.
It tasted
I would,
so
I would
much
mix
better.
that shit together.
I would just
I
only.
I
eat
hit
the
like
chicken.
scoopity doop. I whip that shit up.
Dude, that hit
I'd
different.
be like a whole chef in the cafeteria. Be like,
No,
Make sure
but
that
ever
boy up.
since I got to middle school, I've only been eating home lunch only because of how. But $2.50 for only like the small.
$2.50. What are you
It,
on?
it was $1.50 only for that little meal, and if you want some like water or something, it was like one more dollar. And if you want a second, it would be like $6.
man, y'all go to some whack ass schools, cause
No, the school.
me
food
for
is
me,
so
bro,
nasty.
for me, school food was bussing. And then, bro, I got some crackheads that went to my school who like whenever we do the teriyaki chicken day, they give us fortune cookies.
Oh,
and then
shit, yeah.
they would open up the fortune cookies and they would crush them on the table. And they would crush them on the table, take out the paper, and then roll up the little paper, and then they would snort the fortune cookies.
Oh.
They would snort their fortune cookies with the little
They didn't
fortune
even
they
care about
got.
the fortune.
Nah, bro, they just wanted to snort the cookies, and I don't know why they did that. You know who you are. If you're watching this, you went to my high school. You know who you are. Why'd you do that? What's wrong with you? But they did do that all the time. I thought that was a little crazy.
I think a lot of people in middle school have weird experiences with the bathrooms.
The bathroom.
The bathrooms.
So far, I haven't had anything bad in the
But
bathroom.
what I've heard from
Actually,
my,
that's a
I'm
lie.
not gonna say what my friend had to experience because it's not very kid friendly. But there was a lot of smoke going on. But I can't tell you what other things happened. But when I came to, I have like our gym. We have our gym, and next to it is our bathroom. And today after lunch, I drink the Prime. And you know when you drink those, you have to go to the bathroom every 5 seconds, bro.
When you drink Prime?
Dude, I
No.
have to go to the bathroom every time I drink one of
don't
those.
do
When you
that.
drink Prime?
Yeah, I always have to pee.
Bro, your
What?
bladder might be a little messed up, you know?
Nah, bro. For me, it's whenever I drink coffee. Whenever I drink
Yo,
coffee, I
me
have to crap
too.
myself.
Yo, I be having like everyone says like it's Taco Bell for them, but for me it's literally coffee. I be
Bro,
exploding that whole bathroom.
Y'all be drinking, you'll be drinking like a coffee in the morning, and you be heading to work, and the first thing you do at work is just crap your pants.
and then your whole stomach is like.
Cause like, so I have to work in the morning sometimes, and so I'll be really tired. So I'll get a coffee or whatever. But bro, first thing I do when I get to work is go to the toilet, cause by the time I get to work, the whole coffee has gone through my digestive system, and I just feel that shit going.
I know it feels so gross.
I feel it bubbling in my stomach, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go, and I gotta run to the bathroom, and yeah, no, it's a whole experience.
Yeah, but
for me it's no Taco Bell.
When I drink the Prime, right, and I have to go to the bathroom. Bro, I always go to that bathroom after I play basketball in the mornings to wipe my face off with.
I thought you were gonna say wipe my ass.
We do.
No, my face, because I'm always super sweaty, and so.
Sorry, I apologize. Wipe my.
And I never checked the stalls or anything. Like, I don't really care. But when I went in there, you know when you have to pee, there's no wall blocking that off.
I feel so bad for
I'm
you.
like, bro, if someone comes in here, they're gonna be able to see my,
Your
And
weenie.
so I went to the stalls, and one of them was out of order, and the other one, the lock just didn't work. So what I did is I stand it up like this, and I had one hand like that.
What kind of Michael Jackson is that?
Because I was holding the door like this, and I was going like.
His friend's over here peeing like.
So,
Come on.
so I'm pretty sure if any other kids saw me, they'd probably see my legs like this.
His friend hit it with the. Come on.
Ow! That's so funny. No, that's crazy.
Yo, speaking of Michael Jackson, bro, I've been saying this pretty recently, but like everybody talks about how like Mariah Carey is like the queen of Christmas, you know? How like Christmas time comes around and Mrs. Mariah Carey gets out of her dungeon and starts singing,
cooking up for us.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. You know, that's what she be doing every Christmas. Now I'd be saying Michael Jackson is the same thing, but for Halloween, bro.
For real.
Ain't nobody got better Halloween bangers than Michael Jackson.
Man,
You hit him with the Thriller,
I think.
and then you got that song Ghost by Michael Jackson. Sheesh, that goes so hard.
You used to be scared of the zombies, remember? Of Michael Jackson.
No,
You
that was
never
me.
wanted to see it?
No, that was
That
me.
was him.
That
Oh,
was
really?
me.
I
Because I
remember
remember,
someone used to cry.
so I think he was always playing. Someone was always playing Michael Jackson
It was
songs
gonna be him.
on the TV,
Oh
and
yeah, I remember.
I don't know which song it was, but it always just had him like standing up out of the zombie graves, and he started dancing like this, and I would start like crying.
Oh shit.
I was
Yeah,
so
when I was
scared.
little, I used to remember there's a part in the Thriller music video where Michael Jackson turns into like a werewolf looking thing.
Oh yeah, that's
Bro,
scary.
I used to be so scared of that when I was little. I thought it was like the worst thing in the planet.
Yo,
I was
same.
so terrified, but yeah, now thinking about it,
It looks
though,
kind of dumb.
Kinda
yeah, it
goofy.
looks really goofy nowadays. You look at that, I'm like, I was scared of that. This shit looks so fake. But nah, Michael Jackson is the king of Halloween because
Yeah.
there's a couple other ones like like the Ghostbusters theme song
Or the
Oh,
mo-
yeah.
is
or
by
like
it's not by Michael Jackson, it's by some other guy, but that
or
also
this is
goes hard.
Halloween, like the night before Christmas.
Yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare.
There's Monster Mash. That's a banger. That's a
That is-
classic.
Yeah.
Can never go wrong with that. There's a couple other ones that have
Mash.
kind of.
Skeleton.
There's a lot of
Spooky,
other
scary
ones that have
skeletons.
popped up recently, like all the Stranger Things like soundtrack is like
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
fitting for Halloween.
Dusty Bun.
There's always like the Michael Myers theme song,
Yeah.
The Exorcist. There's like those ones, but Michael Jackson be getting some bangers on Halloween.
Man,
Yeah.
it's different.
Are you guys excited for Halloween?
Kinda.
I think I'm the most excited. I'm trying to decorate by
Yeah,
tomorrow.
dude, it's September and this man's already decorating with Halloween decorations outside. And I'm just like, bro, what you doing? But
It's so fun. I don't know. I just like decorating, and I don't know. Whenever those two holidays come up, like,
You're like-
Christmas and Halloween, I get so hyped up.
I hate Christmas, like decorating for Christmas, because last year I had to go up on top of the roof and like put all the light bulbs in it. And
That's
that,
so-
what do you
that
mean?
thing
That was
so-
that was pretty easy. That was
I
pretty
mean, like,
fun
I'm
too.
not saying.
I
Like,
think
I'm
I
not
was the
saying it
one that was
hard.
scared.
I'm not saying it was hard. It was just like the weather, just so cold, and my hands were like freezing, and I probably looked like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer because my nose was really
It was
red.
pretty fun though.
Yeah.
I liked being up there. That was fun.
I think I hated it the most only because
Yeah, man was
I
kind of like,
hate heights.
I was hella playing music. That was
Yeah.
so fun up there.
I think you're the one that calmed me down. If it wasn't for you, I would have been crying my balls out.
Who?
Chavita.
Oh.
Cause he went up there and I didn't want to go up there, so we grabbed the ladder and I went from the side and he picked me up from there,
Mhm.
and I just hated being up there. I like putting the lights up there, but going up there just scares me because I hate heights. It's not even that like tall, but I still get scared about it.
Yeah, I have a pretty big fear of heights as well, but
Mm-mm.
but like going on the roof isn't really that bad for me. It used to be, but like the more you go into like high places, I guess, the more used you become to it. Cause like I remember like whenever I would go to the mall and like I'd go on the second floor of the mall, I would like peek over to look at the first floor, and I'd be like,
That still happens to me, and I feel like I get dizzy just by like I get scared. but-
like. But for some reason in my brain is like I'm gonna jump.
I don't think
No.
Like,
I'm
I got
gonna
this
jump
little intrusive person in my
off.
brain that's like,
Jump
Do it.
off, jump
Jump
off,
off
jump
right
off,
now.
jump off,
And then
jump
I'm
off.
like, nah, why would I do that? I'm gonna break my legs if I jump down.
I know,
But
I
then
thought
you're
that
like,
too.
your little dude up here is like, no, do it. It's gonna be fun. Just do
I
it.
know. Is it just me or is it also like with knife? Like with the knife, it's like kill your whole family, kill your whole family, kill your
No,
whole family.
I don't
Yo.
know. I never got that one before.
I've never
That's
thought of
crazy.
that
I
one.
get those ones. That's why I don't wash the dishes because every time I hold a knife, my brain goes kill the whole family, kill the whole family, kill the whole family.
Yo, we got
Let me
Chucky over here.
Yo, we can't let her near any knives, bro. She gonna do it.
No.
I'm not gonna do
Nah,
it because then like when I start thinking about that, I start crying because I'm like, bro, if I end up killing my whole family, I'm gonna be like hella depressed. But it's like it's always something like that. I'm like kill the whole family, kill the whole family.
Yeah, hell no. But for me, it's like, I don't know. It's kind of goofy, intrusive thoughts. But we're coming up close here to the end. Is there any last thoughts or any last topics you guys want to speak about before we end this
No,
here?
I think I'm just excited for episode 2 tomorrow. I think we're doing another one.
Yeah, we're doing another episode
I
here
don't know if she's
after
gonna
this
be in
one
though.
with another special guest. But it's gonna be fun. Expect a couple more of these. I don't know how frequently we're gonna be posting these. I still have to figure that out. There's a couple things that I have to figure out before I post this, but
We're gonna
But
probably
yeah,
upgrade
this is
to
kinda-
not holding the mic no more.
yeah, we'll see. That's gonna take a while. But
Yeah,
if you guys did enjoy this though,
leave a like.
make sure you leave a like,
And
comment down
subscribe.
below. This is kind of what it's gonna be like for the most part. It's just gonna be conversation. It's just kind of chilling for the most part.
Yeah.
Also,
There
turn
will
up-
be a couple episodes where I have specific topics that I want to talk about, and we'll be focusing on those topics pretty much the whole podcast.
Mhm.
But for the majority of episodes, it's gonna kind of be like this. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but if you enjoyed this,
subscribe and turn on your
subscribe,
notifications.
bro, because like we're gonna be pumping these episodes out. So
And
Yeah.
turn on your notifications because you might miss an episode.
Ooh, you don't want
yeah,
that.
sometimes YouTube does not tell you when we post, but when you press that notification bell,
bell.
it's gonna tell you every time we post, so that you don't miss a single episode
So
from your favorite podcast.
yeah, if you have a lot of YouTubers that you have your notifications on, turn them off for them and turn them off for us.
yeah. Yeah, but if you guys have any suggestions for any topics you guys want us to talk about, or if you guys have any questions for us, if you had something that we talked about that we didn't really go too in depth on, and you want to hear us talk about,
Wait, I
more,
need to ask you something.
let us know.
Both of you guys something.
Mhm.
What do you guys think about the Smurf cat?
Oh my god, I hate that thing.
A
Get
Smurf
off
cat.
my TikTok
You
right
don't know
now.
what that is?
No.
The Smurf cat? You don't know what that is?
Dude, I can't
No.
escape from that.
hold on. I can pull up
It's like some stupid Smurf looking like some Smurf.
He
It's
looks.
just kind of like a cat, but he looks like I don't know. He's so goofy.
I have
I hate
no
him.
idea what they're talking about.
It's like all over my For You page, and I can't get away from him.
It's the Smurf cat. It's the biggest meme right now.
What is this?
Stop! It's
For
the
y'all,
Smurf cat.
for y'all watching this on YouTube, I'll put the graphic up here. But
called Smurf cat.
It's so goofy.
there's
that is.
different colored ones too.
Yeah,
Yes.
this like pink one, blue
It's-
one.
Bro, if you know that guy that posts like news on his like TikTok? He
There's a lot of those. guys
yeah.
on TikTok.
Well, one of them has like a Smurf cat of his profile.
Yeah, literally.
Why?
Because, like,
Why is this even a thing?
I don't know, but you
It
can.
just
There's
started.
even a filter for it.
Yeah, there's a filter.
Yeah, like the Trump mugshot like thing only lasted for like 2 days, and then that
The
cat thing,
Smurf cat?
the Smurf cat literally took over, and every single time like I look down, it's like some goofy Roblox sound going like.
it's
and then
not
you
that
just
one.
see,
It's not
and then
that
you see
one.
some Murph cat going like this. Like I don't
Oh
know,
yeah,
it's so
it's
dumb.
and then there was this picture of like Speed, and it was like Speed was like scrolling. It's like those little slideshows on TikTok.
Mhm.
He was like scrolling. And he was like, "What is this?" And it's like Speed's hand like going like that in like the charity match, and it's like he starts scrolling and it just puts like the Smurf cat in like the grass hiding.
Oh my god, it's so
And
annoying.
he starts like getting all mad about it. He's like, "Oh my god, I can't get away from this cat."
Yeah, it's like a curse you get. Like it doesn't go away
I
for like
don't-
a while.
I haven't seen it at all.
Dude, it's everywhere. I
It's
can't get away
literally-
from
me
it.
too.
But anyways, guys, as I said before, sorry. Make sure you like and subscribe for more podcast episodes. We're gonna be pumping these out as much as we can.
Yeah.
Got another episode coming up here pretty soon with another special guest. But
Tomorrow, right? Tomorrow.
just make
Are you
sure.
gonna be here tomorrow?
I live here. Duh, I'm gonna be here every day.
No.
Okay. Well, anyways, I love you guys. Subscribe. and I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.